amazing people. I'm so excited to have you here. On this channel, I dive into the fascinating realm of law and everything related to it. If you are joining this channel for the first time, you're welcome. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the notification button so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. On today's vlog, I am exploring sources of law. Sources of Nigerian law refers to the set of resources from which binding legal norms are drawn. It refers to where legal practitioners can locate reliable authorities for any legal issue. Classification of sources of law. There are basically two classifications of sources of law. There are primary sources of law and there are secondary sources of law. Primary sources of law are the actual law in both written and unwritten form. They are authoritative and they have binding force on a court of law. While secondary sources, on the other hand, are materials that interpret and summarize the primary sources of law. They do not have the force of law themselves, but they are very important for understanding and applying legal principles found in primary sources. They only serve persuasive purposes and they are usually relied upon where no primary sources is available. Examples of primary sources of law. 1. Nigeria legislation. Nigeria legislation refers to the body of laws enacted by the legislative body or authorities in Nigeria, which include both the federal and state levels. Nigeria legislation include ordinances, which are historical laws made or enacted before the attainment of independence, and acts, which are enactments made at the federal level, and laws, which are enactments made at the state level. English law. The English law is the legal system of England and Wales, and it is recognized as a genuine source of Nigerian law because of British colonial administration in Nigeria, and different legislatures in Nigeria have made enactments which receive English law directly into their various jurisdictions. Delegated legislation. They are enactments made by persons or bodies other than the legislative body, which allow for quicker implementation of rules. Enactments made by delegated bodies have become a reliable source of Nigerian law, as these bodies provide principles that regulate human conduct and the administration of public affairs. Customary laws. Customary laws refers to the practices accepted by the members of a community to govern their conduct. The Nigeria customary law is classified into the ethnic laws and the Muslim law. The ethnic customary laws refers to the traditional legal systems and practices that are specific to a particular ethnic groups, and they are mostly unwritten. While the Muslim law is the Islamic law, which is the legal system derived from the teachings of the Quran, that is the holy book of Islam, and the Sunnah, which is the practices of the prophets. However, for a customary law to be binding, it must fulfill the following criteria. 1. It must not be repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. 2nd, it must not be contrary to public policy. And 3rd, it must not be incompatible directly or by implication with any law of the time being force. Having fulfilled the 3 tests of validity, then the customary law cannot become a genuine source of the Nigerian law. Judicial precedence. Judicial precedence is otherwise known as case law, and it is a fundamental principle where past judicial decisions are used as a guide for deciding future cases. It serves as an essential source of law as it helps for consistency and predictability in legal issues. International law. It refers to a set of rules and regulations that govern the relationship between sovereign states and other international organizations. Nigeria courts recognize international law as part of the legal system inasmuch it is in agreement with Nigerian laws and a public policy. Examples of secondary sources of law include the law reports, which are published collections of judicial decisions from courts and serve as an essential resources for legal practitioners in understanding and applying legal principles. Examples of this is the Nigeria Weekly Law Reports. Law textbooks. Law textbooks offer structured insight into various areas of law, and they enhance a deeper understanding of various classifications of law. Other examples include periodicals, law digests, and more. Thank you for watching this video. You're so amazing. Anticipate my next video, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And remember, this channel is fun, educating, and legal. Bye.